Let me show you something that's gonna change how you look at your mortgage forever. Think of it as an onion. With each payment, you think you're peeling away the layers of your mortgage, closer and closer to owning your home. But here's the truth. Banks set up a system where you barely ever touch the core. It's the perfect crime because you'll actually thank them while they steal your equity. It's called the onion method, and it's the banking industry's most brilliant con. And just like cutting an onion, once you see how this really works, it's gonna make you cry. So it's like this. In a normal 30-year mortgage, during the first 6 years, 75% of your payments are just peeling away the layers of interest. You feel like you're making progress, but you're not. The con? You'll actually feel smart about your money the whole time. You'll think you're winning. You'll even brag to your friends about it. Here, let's look at a $420,000 home. After putting 20% down and borrowing $336,000 the rest, your monthly payment at 6% interest is gonna be about $2,600, including taxes and insurance. Then after 6 years of paying on time, you've given the bank nearly $188,000. But guess what? Only about $40,000 of that actually went to your loan balance. The rest, almost $150,000, it's just thin layers of this onion, pure profit for the banks. And here's where their masterpiece of a con unfolds. Just when you finally started making real progress, banks offer their gift, refinancing. Like any good con, they make you feel like an insider, like you found some secret money hack. Their ads, they show happy families celebrating their smart choice. You'll feel so clever getting that lower rate that saves you $300 a month. You'll probably post about it online. You might even write a great review thanking your loan officer. But here's the hard truth. While you're celebrating, you're actually surrendering the credit you received for that $150,000 you paid. You're essentially trading $150,000 for a $300 monthly discount, and you're excited about it. But do the math. It would take you 500 months. That's over 41 years just to break even on that trade. By then, they'll have talked you into refinancing 3 more times, and each time, you'll think you're beating the system. That's what makes this the perfect crime. Millions of victims, not one complaint, because we're all too busy patting ourselves on the back for being so good with money. But here's the thing. Once you understand how their game works, you can flip the script. Let me show you how to turn their perfect crime into your perfect chance to win. I mean, imagine if you could use the bank's own onion method against them. What if instead of being the victim in their perfect crime, you become the mastermind of your own wealth? So let's do that. Let's turn this upside down. Remember that equity you've built? Well, instead of letting banks talk you into resetting your loan and starting over with that onion, here's what smart property owners do. They use a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Think of it like having a credit card backed by your home, but with much better terms. So you're not starting over. You're keeping all the progress that you've made. Here, let's look at some numbers to help you understand. Your situation, it might be a little different, but this is gonna give you an idea of what's possible. It'll at least give you a model. So that $420,000 property that we talked about, after 6 years, with just 3% of annual growth, it's worth over $500,000. That means you can pull out about $100,000 of equity. Now, instead of letting the banks take your progress, you can use that equity as a down payment on a $400,000 rental property. Even better, we'll make it a short-term rental. And this is where everything changes. This is where you flip their perfect trick into your perfect opportunity. So we'll run the numbers. The short-term rental, $4,000 monthly revenue coming in. Mortgage payment, gone. Property taxes, covered. Insurance costs, paid for. Property management, handled. And what's left? $900 of pure cash flow every single month. But wait, we're just getting started. The tax benefits the IRS doesn't want you to know about, that's another $900 a month. Add it up, that's $1,800 in monthly wealth generation. That's 6 times what the banks offered to save you with refinancing. And the best part, your renters are paying down your loan, not you. You're now building equity in 2 properties instead of 1. You're doubling your appreciation, and you're creating tax benefits the IRS hoped that you'd never discover. That's how you turned their con into your win. But check this out. Here's where this plan gets crazy. Property 1 grows in value, property 2 grows in value, and guess what? They work together to get you property number 3. It's like a money snowball that gets bigger with every roll. And here's the mic drop moment. Your renters, they're funding the whole thing. There's literally no other investment that buys itself for you. Now I see the comments already, but what about market crashes? What if renters don't pay? What if one of those tenants sue you? Well, here's the truth. While doubters are busy making excuses and pointing out everything that could possibly go wrong, smart investors are busy making money. Which side do you want to be on? The banks are betting on one thing, that you stay scared, that you stay small, and that you keep peeling their onion forever. Let's get something straight about using debt. Debt without knowledge was super risky. Debt with knowledge, that's good business. It's like a race car. The car itself isn't dangerous, but you put an untrained driver behind the wheel, different story. The same applies to real estate investing. These strategies, they're not financial advice. It's just information. I mean, your situation, your market, your goals, they're all unique to you. What matters is knowing how to use these tools properly. And here's the million-dollar question. The banks aren't scared of using your money, so why are you scared of using theirs? Want to know something crazy? The best investors do one thing first. They invest in their education before anything else. And speaking of mind-blowing strategies, let me share another one, what the wealthy have been quietly using for years. And it's hilariously ironic because the banks actually created this loophole themselves. And while they're hoping that you never figure this out, it is completely legal and super effective. What if I told you that there's a way to get $150,000 with 0% interest? Not 2%, not 1%, 0%. For almost 2 years straight with no collateral needed. And here's the genius part. We know how to reset that 0% clock so that it works indefinitely. Now, if you're thinking like a consumer, you might be getting a little bit nervous. But if you're thinking like an investor, your ears, they just perked up. Here's why this is a big deal. Zero cost money to make positive returns. That's not debt. That's smart leverage. It's exactly what banks do with your money. Only now you're in control. And this isn't some theory that I cooked up yesterday. We've tested this through thousands of successful fundings. And here's the crazy part. Using this system actually makes you look better to banks. Gives you a better credit score, gives you better credit use. It's like building another one of these snowballs, a snowball of trust with the very institutions that we're outsmarting. But I need to be straight with you. Banking rules, they change constantly. Once enough people catch on to what we're doing, well, you know how these things go. These opportunities, they don't last forever. And when they're gone, they're gone. You can get the details at loopholelending.com. And speaking of timing, the money landscape isn't just changing. It's being completely reshaped. The Fed's policies, creating ripples. World events, adding fuel to the fire. But here's what most people miss. These problems are setting the stage for something massive, especially if you know how to position yourself right now. Strap in. While everyone else watches the daily news panic, smart investors are focused on one undeniable fact. Real estate might be the final frontier where regular people can build serious wealth. But this window, it won't stay open forever. Look at what's happening right this second. 1, mortgage rates have fallen for 6 weeks straight. 2, refinancing has exploded 90% compared to last year. 3, the Fed is walking a tightrope with policy decisions. 4, the Trump administration is executing their long-term plan. And here's the big one. 5, all of this is creating massive displacement in the market. And guess what? Displacement equals opportunity, but only for those who are ready to grab it. While the masses are frozen by uncertainty, while they're waiting for perfect conditions, smart investors are making their biggest moves because they understand one thing. These moments of chaos and change, they're exactly when fortunes are made. I don't care if rates go up or down. I don't care if policies shift left or right. Real estate remains the ultimate wealth building machine. So here's your game plan while everyone else is sleeping. Step 1, learn to use banks' own systems against them. Step 2, grab that zero cost money while it's available. And step 3, build your portfolio strategically while others sit scared on the sidelines. And remember this isn't about perfect timing. It's about being positioned when opportunities appear. The real wealth builders in real estate, they're not waiting for perfect conditions. They're adapting and winning in any condition. If you want any help putting any of this into action, whether it's turning the bank's onion method against them or accessing zero cost money, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.